I'm Jay,
I'm G.
and we're going to read Percy the Victorious Vulture, which was produced by Hawk Mountain Sanctuary in Pennsylvania. In March, Mother Black Vulture found the perfect place to lay her eggs, a cave high in the Appalachian Mountains. She did not build a nest. Instead, she made a scrape in the dirt and settled down to lay her eggs. She laid 2 eggs, and Mother and Father Vulture took turns sitting on the eggs to keep them warm.
In April, 2 chicks hatched. They hatched from their eggs. Percy and Leah had few feathers, so their parents had to sit on them to keep them warm. The nestlings were very hungry. The adults took turns bringing food to them, but the food was not solid. Their parents regurgitated liquid food for the nestlings to eat.
In May and June, Percy and Leah grew feathers so their mother and father did not need to sit on them to keep them warm, but they were still hungry. Now their parents brought back solid food for them to eat many times a day.
In July, the young vultures followed their parents out of the cave and into the sky. The fledglings would not return to the nest site. Instead, they would roost with their parents in a nearby stand of trees. They still could not feed themselves and needed their parents to teach them how to find food.
Percy woke up at the roost site with his family and many other black vultures. Black vultures like to be together, and many families will roost in the same tree. Percy was excited to fly again, but he would have to wait for the morning air to warm up.
As the morning air grew warmer, Percy and the others stretched their wings to warm up in the summer sunshine. Their black feathers soaked up the sun's heat so that they could fly. Percy's long black wings have white fingertips.
Once the sun warmed up the ground, invisible thermals rose up from the landscape. Percy and his family leaped into the rising air and were lifted up by the thermals. Percy followed his parents as they searched for carcasses on the ground. He had to learn how to find his own food.
Percy and his family were soaring above the Kempton Valley when they saw a pig carcass at the Brown family farm. Down, 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 they flew for lunch. This time, the carcass was inside a big square cage. But the door was open, so in Percy went for a tasty meal. Then the door shut behind him, and he could not get out.
A man came into the trap and picked Percy up. Percy could not get away. This man was a conservation science trainee who studied at Hawk Mountain Sanctuary. Percy was measured, weighed, and had a yellow wing tag, number 43, attached to his right wing. Then he was let go.
Percy flew to a nearby dead tree and preened his feathers until they were all neat and clean. Then off he flew to roost with his family and friends.
As summer passed by, Percy learned to find food on his own. Sometimes the food he found was in the woods or in a field, but sometimes it was on the road.
One day, Percy was eating a roadkill opossum and did not see or hear the truck driving down the road, heading straight for him.
Percy saw the truck too late and tried to fly away, but his long wing was hit by the truck as it drove by. Percy's wing hurt and no longer seemed to work, so he walked back to his roost site.
Percy could not fly up to his favorite perch at the top of the tree. Instead, he hopped up to the lowest branch to roost for the night.
In autumn, the other black vultures moved further south for the cold winter months. Percy had to stay behind.
Percy was going to have to find food for himself without being able to fly. This was going to take skill, some luck, and a little help from the people of Kempton Valley. Percy ate dog food when he thought the dog was away.
Good thing Percy could run fast
And jump high.
Percy ate cat food that was left outside for him.
Percy ate compost, rotting fruits and vegetables. And of course, he ate any roadkill he could find.
Percy roosted in evergreen trees to stay out of the winter snow, wind, and ice. But then spring came and the snow melted. The days got warmer and longer, and then one day, many of the other vultures came back.
Percy was glad to be back with the group. He was not able to fly with them, but he could still thermoregulate in the sun and roost with them. Percy had been through a lot, but in the end, Percy had persevered.
The end.